Good evening and welcome to the presentation on Art and Design 3D Design. I've given it its full title just so that you're clear on what it is that we're doing, what syllabus we're doing. We're doing the Art and Design syllabus, which means that it's just that little bit more arty than if we were doing the product design syllabus. That one's got more science and engineering in it. This one's more art and design based. So I've given it its full title, so you know that. And the first thing that I was thinking about was what kind of student it would be suited for, so why you should be doing that. So the person that I think this is best suited for are those people that do enjoy doing the practical work. They like drawing, they like designing, but they like doing the hands-on practical work in the workshop. They like making things. I've always said that if you do a subject that you actually enjoy doing, you're going to get more out of it because you're going to spend more time and actually put the work in. So I'd rather do that than you thinking about, you know, can I do it? Can't I do it? If you enjoy it, then that's good, and that's how you're going to move forward. So, like I say, the kind of person is someone that's going to be practical. People ask whether there's going to be a lot of writing in it. There is writing involved. You do have to put some kind of critical analysis into your work, but there's no formal assessment in that sense. That goes within your actual projects that you produce. And you really do need to understand that the main emphasis is on the practical side. So you're going to be designing, you're going to be drawing, you're going to be coming up with ideas, you're going to be researching relevant designers and design movements before develop them into your own idea at the end. And that's basically the kind of thing that you will be doing. Now, a lot of other people say, why am I doing an art subject? Well, the creative industries in Britain is huge. A lot of people don't realise that there is an awful lot. Everything that you touch basically has been designed. So this laptop that I'm working on at the moment has been touched by a designer. The clothes that I'm wearing, the car that I drive, they're all design based. And so this is like a stepping stone into that creative industry. Also includes theatre, film, packaging, product design. There's lots, as well as the independent makers that are out there. So that's why you should choose it. Now, if I just move on and quickly explain what the actual course entails. So there are two components. The first component is the coursework component that is worth 60%. And that starts from day one of year 10. Everything that you produce throughout year 10 and the start of year 11 will be that coursework component. It will usually be two projects that complete, but sometimes, depending on the class, depending on how it goes, we sometimes sneak a third project in there. And basically by the end of the time, so we have to have that handed in by around Christmas time of year 11. By the time you've completed that, you must have at least one of those assignments as a whole. It must have the initial starting idea and that journey all the way through the developing of ideas and all the things that you've experimented with down to your final piece in the end. And that is what a whole assignment would look like. So your coursework is worth 60%. You're one of those people that work steadily throughout the class and you just do what you're told all the time, it shouldn't be a problem. You're one of those people that easily falls behind and isn't very good at getting yourself organised and caught up, then you are going to be spending lots of period sixes with me trying to catch up if that's the case. But it is good because it does mean that you get that coursework, that 60%, which is a huge part of the exam, under your belt pretty soon. Now, the current themes for those projects that year 10 and 11 are doing at the moment are architecture, natural forms, and dolls and animatronics. So I've put on that slide some of the kinds of work that they have been doing for those projects. It's been a little bit more difficult to get photos of those at the moment, especially as some of the practical work is a little bit in kit form still because we're in and out of the workshop with lockdown, so we're not quite finishing things off. Hopefully we'll sort them out over the next couple of weeks. And you can see that it's ranged from very technical side. You've got the laser cutting with the that was researched. It started off a very flowy natural project, and then it went into that very technical side where we went onto the laser cutting to create those lamps. You can see the lamp, it's got a prototype. the wooden one that then developed into a more advanced one. So you can see that it's based on a honeycomb, and the later one went into the honeycomb colour, so it went into a honey colour, and the light, rather than being a central source, became the little lights as if they were the bees flying around that honeycomb. So you've got much more opportunity to develop your ideas than you have when you're in Key Stage 3, when you've got your limited time. So you've got bigger and better projects to make, basically. Component 2 is the test, and that's worth 40%. In the January of year 11, you will get the test paper. There'll be 7 starting points on that. You choose one and you start an assignment on that one. And it will be no different to the assignments that you've been doing in class. So I will be there to help and support you. You'll be able to research, you'll be able to try out your ideas out. You'll even be able to practice what you're going to do in the exam. And then around April time, it depends where Easter falls and where other exams are falling, but somewhere around April, you will sit a 10-hour exam. That's 2 days in the workshop in exam conditions. It sounds horrendous, but it's actually very therapeutic. Lots of people love it. Get your normal breaks, you get your normal dinners, but you've got those 2 days to just concentrate on making what you've been working on for the previous 3 or 4 months. So that's it's an easy exam because you've known what you're going to be making in it for weeks in advance. So you've practiced it, you know what you're doing. So you can see that there's lots of handmade stuff there and hand presented drawing. If you're happier doing stuff on the computer, then that's available as well. Thought I'd include what the year 10s have been doing during lockdown, just to show you the kind of thing that you would be expected to do when you first start in year 10. You can see this is very basic stuff if you actually analyse it. It's just a sculpture from a toilet roll and then drawing from it, and then building cubes out of paper. Things that we had at home, basically. But you can see that we've gone that little bit further with the presentation. You're learning some more presentation techniques. You're learning to do some graphics on the computers as well. So if you're not very strong with the hand stuff, you can be doing the computer stuff as well. So I'm going to just leave you on some slides of some pictures that are the rest of the work that you might have seen earlier in the assemblies that you've had this week, but those are the kind of things that are being made. You can see there's a full range: drawing, presentation, research, modelling. Those paper straw structures are part of the architecture project, where they're modelling the structures first before they go on to making bigger and better things. So that's a snapshot of the kind of things that you will be doing. And of course, now I'm available to answer any questions. If anybody's got any questions, subject specific rather than student specific would be helpful.
Thank you very much, Miss. If anything jumps into the chat box, I will repeat them for you. But as we've been saying all evening, you've obviously got Parents' Evening next week for any further questions, or you're more than welcome to email us if you've got any additional questions as well. So there's no questions that have come through on chat, so we will leave it there. Mrs Hulme, thank you so much for your presentation this evening, and I will speak to you soon. And everybody else online, I'm sure I'll see you shortly at some of our other option talks.
Thank you.